welcome to Inferior Gaming, where we're thankful we don't care about GTA 6.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of assuming you don't, but I don't think you do.
I don't.
Yeah,
No.
okay, great. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Alan. Yeah, every time I open my consoles, the first thing that comes up is like, it's GTA 6. It's going to be here in a few months. I'm like, oh my God. Just go to my games. Come on.
Yeah. When I turned on my PlayStation last night, the background had become the GTA 6 logo, and I was like, why are you doing this to me? Why can't when on my PlayStation 4, I have like a Persona 5 theme, and it's Morgana and the good music. But PlayStation 5, they get to just shove ads at me.
Yeah. I do have like a custom background that I really love in PlayStation 5, and you have to like dig around in there to mess with your background, but it does allow you to customize quite a bit if you want to take the time to do that. I took this, like, I'm always taking pictures in the games, which is part of why I move so slowly through video games, especially on the PlayStation 5. But I took some killer pictures in Sea of Stars, or what? No, what is that? That's not right at all. The Sword of the Sea, Sea of Stars, is a completely different game.
But I did know exactly what you meant.
Yeah. Sword of the Sea has, where you're flying around on the sword, and just got like this great angle on a picture, and that's my background. And every time that I boot up the PlayStation 5 and that picture's there, I'm like, oh, that was such a good picture. What a great job I did on taking that picture.
Nice. Yeah, I did but it was so easy on the 4. You just choose a theme, and then you have a theme, and then everything is the theme.
Yeah, I would like that more. Yeah. Or you can get ads for games you don't care about. There should be something where you're like, I don't care about this. Don't show it to me again. It'll be like, oh, okay, Call of Duty 6, Caitlin.
I mean, at least I have, I know what GTA 6 is. I don't really understand what Call of Duty is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. But you know what I mean. I don't. Is there a story mode? I don't know. Is there anything in that game other than you drop in and you shoot people? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is a story. I've always been interested to play the story in those games. I could easily do it because they're like all on Game Pass now. But I've never done it. They're like action movies from the 80s and 90s in the story mode.
I have seen people playing Prop Hunt, and I think that looks like a lot of fun. But
what is it?
Prop Hunt, it's a mode, I think it's Call of Duty. I could be so wrong. Where one team is disguised as objects.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The other team has to find them and shoot them.
Yeah.
That looks like the most fun, honestly. Yeah. But I will never play a Call of Duty because I don't want to pay for it just to do that. And technically, I could recreate something like that in Pokemon Pokopia, but none of my friends have a Switch 2. So it would just be me hiding as a street lamp,
Yeah, there's that reminds me of like there's the viral game right now on PC, I think. I don't think it's on consoles at all, called Mecha Chameleon. Have you heard of this?
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. I've watched a lot of videos of people doing it. It seems like a lot of fun.
Oh, the paint. Yes. I have.
Where you paint yourself. Yes. Yeah, you're like a white stick figure, and then you have to like blend into the background.
Yes, same idea.
Your painting skills. Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to paint. Although I should look into it. I don't think any of the videos I'd seen had the name of the game in it. So that's why I didn't know what you were talking about at first.
Yeah. There's definitely people who in the Dark Souls community do that kind of thing too, because you don't have any control in the Souls games and in Elden Ring when other players like invade your play session and hunt you down. But one of the things that you can do is like disguise yourself as one of the environmental elements in the setting that you're in, but you don't have control over what it is. You can also dress up like the enemies, like when they loot drop, And so you could dress up like an enemy and then just kind of sit down. And a lot of people do that. And so the invader, like, it does not point out to the invader where you are or like anything like that. And so if you just like hide, sometimes they can't find you and they get frustrated and they leave. So those videos are fun too to watch. What a weird, how did we go down this tangent?
I don't know. But yeah.
Call of Duty.
So what have you been playing?
Not too much. I played more Persona 5. I beat the bank boss. I don't know what else to. He had a mecha piggy bank.
Yeah.
It's a fun fight. Very cute. So I played that, and then I played a couple days after, like in-game days, and I was like falling asleep. This had nothing to do with the quality of the game. I'm just like very worn out. I'm having a really hard time with my work schedule these days. And I was like, okay, I'm at a point where I was like, save the game. But I was like just kind of sitting there sometimes and not doing anything. And then my kid was watching me play, and she would look over at me. She's like, Dad, you're falling asleep. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. And so I saved it, and I went upstairs and I took a nap. And then later in the afternoon, I got back on and went to continue with my days, and I had not saved the game.
No.
I just opened up the menu, and when it said, do you want to save over, this file, I said no, and I thought I had said yes. So I had to beat the boss again, which was fine, because I didn't have a hard time with it at all. And then I went and did all the stuff that I had done before, and then I did even more, where I went into the metaverse, like subways, whatever, and completed all the side quests that I had ongoing in there, and went as low as I could possibly go until it was like, no, you have to become more popular to keep going. Then I went and strengthened a bunch of relationships with people. I think I have most people at a 6 right now, which seems like about where the game wants me to have people. It seems like I'm close to the middle of like, they're like, hey, remember how all this weird shit was happening, with like people going crazy on buses and stuff like that? Actually, there's another person out there doing the same thing that you're doing, and like that should be the next focus. But I haven't gotten to the point where the guy actually like I have 8 more days until the time's up on his
until he confesses
thing. Right. So he like got arrested by the police. He called up Makoto and was like, hey, I'm not gonna release the pictures. I actually feel really bad about everything that I did. So he's like taken care of, like his threat is not a threat anymore, but I just like progressed as far as I could. So for now, I just have more relationship stuff to do. Oh yeah, I went to what's it called? Like a fortune teller lady in the street.
Yeah, she's cool. I like her.
And then she was like, buy this rock for a lot of money, and I had like quite a bit of money, and I was like, yeah, sure, because this is obviously like I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole with you, and you're probably like one of the people who's gonna be like, I don't know, I can't remember what they're called.
She unlocked some good stuff.
Okay.
Buying was the right thing to do. You will get that money back eventually.
Yeah, I figured. It's like, I understand how these games work, so I'm not like, oh no, 100,000. I was like, whatever, I'll go in mementos, and I had like 300,000 something after selling all my treasure and stuff, so I know that I've spent it down to 0 several times, so I know that I need the money, but like, anyway. Yeah, I bought the rock from her, and then we went back to the coffee shop, and it like crumbled, and then we were like, we got scammed, and that was the last thing that happened before I saved it.
Nice. I remember that 100,000 being really difficult in the original Persona 5, and then when I was playing Royal, I was like, oh yeah, chump change, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent down to nothing. I think the hard thing that I have in terms of getting resources is things that will heal, quote unquote, your SP, your magic points.
Yeah, they make that stuff hard on purpose.
Yeah. So I have a really strong relationship with the doctor lady, and she sells accessories that pretty much regen that resource.
Yep, highly recommend.
Yeah, so every turn they're proccing pretty much what they're spending in that, so I very rarely have to heal that stuff for most of the characters, although for Joker, I have some really, I'm basically cheating with Joker because the game not only gives you a lot of money in Royal to start off with, but it also gives you access to end game personas in the the jail area.
Yeah,
if you know what I'm talking about.
I do know. In the Velvet Room.
In the Velvet Room, yeah. So you can, for no money, you don't have to pay anything. You just say, I want that one. And it's a level, 5, 6, whatever,
really?
end game. Yeah. It's end game fire spells and stuff like that. So they're very, very expensive in terms of
you just
SP.
said no money.
Well, I mean no money to get it. No, it's zero. It costs nothing to get the persona. There's lots of them.
I do not remember this at all. Maybe I just never found them.
You probably never have done it. Yeah, it doesn't really point out to you. I was just going through all the different menus in there, and I was like, oh, if you unlock a persona, you can come here and buy it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then it was here's all these end game ones, and I was like, why are all these unlocked? And they're all 00000. They cost nothing to buy. And so I was like, that's crazy. So they must just be giving you this shit because it's
this doesn't make any sense. This isn't important. I have no memory of this.
It's real because it's how I will breeze through a boss every once in a while. I'll be like, okay, I get the concept. This is cool. And then I'll just nuke you with an end game persona. I only have 2 or 3 loaded on him, and then I'm recruiting from the levels, and then I'm consolidating, in the Velvet Room, those recruits that I got to make them more interesting and play that Pokemon thing where you electrocute them or decapitate them and all of that stuff, which sounds crazy out of context.
Yeah, no, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
In 4, they're just cards, and you just combine cards to get a new card.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is way less weird than violent.
Yeah. So I guess all that to say that I've spent my money resources down to nothing before and had to rebuild, to equip everyone and all of that stuff. But I think the way I've got it set up now, I don't have to buy a whole lot of resources, and you get so much treasure in mementos that I just sell. I don't know if I'm supposed to be keeping that treasure. It's just called treasure. And I go to the gun shop and I just sell it all.
Yeah, no,
and
I think you can just sell all that.
Yeah. It's just I walk out of mementos with 100,000 yen, and then I sell all that treasure, and now I have more than 300,000, and that's a lot. And every once in a while I will also win the lottery, which is crazy. So there's a lottery in Shibuya that you can.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played that. I never played the lottery in real life. I don't do it in games.
You win a lot. It happens frequently. I think it's happened to me 3 times, and the kiosk person was like, wow, you keep winning. That's crazy. And I was like, I wonder if this goes anywhere, if somebody hunts you down.
I have no memory of it.
And then I also played, so there was a big Amazon sale recently, deep discounts on all kinds of stuff. And I have a little bit of credit from returning things on Amazon anyway. And so basically for free, I got the sequel to Elden Ring called Night Rain.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is not super interesting to me, which is why I never bought it to begin with. It's like a online co-op experience. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like you play with 3 other people online, and it's a boss rush in an alternate Elden Ring map that's not really an open world. It just takes elements from the open world and kind of remixes them, and then remixes enemies and gives you like totally different abilities, because it's like a roguelike experience where you have like an archetype of your build, and then you get drops throughout your session that let you augment things, but it's really trying to get you to cooperate with the other heroes and kind of proc your your ultimates, this like an Overwatch or these other games like that, except it's all medieval RPG horror fantasy setting. So I played through the tutorial for that. It's super interesting from a lore perspective, but it does feel like it's fundamentally disconnected from the story of Elden Ring, which I think is what they have said. This is like alt universe, like what if the hero, quote unquote, that you play in Elden Ring never existed and the world just continued to degenerate. That's what this world is. And it's fun to play these characters who they have built to be extremely fast and extremely mobile. You can do stuff in Night Rain that's just flat out impossible in Elden Ring. There's no fall damage, which is super interesting. It just feels like a action anime version of Elden Ring, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Way more power fantasy and shonen. I got to the first boss.
Way more power fantasy?
Way more. Because Elden Ring's not...
that was possible from a Souls
No,
play.
Elden Ring's not a power fantasy, man. It's it's a kick you in the stomach fantasy. It's a totally different kind of fantasy. You like to be hurt? We're here for you. This was like not like that at all. But I did get to the first boss, and it was very funny because this boss is notorious in Elden Ring, so it seems like they're taking bosses from the game, and then you just drop in and fight these guys. And my daughter, who's much better than me at Elden Ring, was watching me, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's the second version of him," and she was like, "Why don't you dodge when he does that?" And I'm like, "'Cause I suck. Be quiet. I'm trying to." But I lost against him so much that the game was like, "Okay, well, we're just gonna move forward with the story, and you don't get that win."
I would hate that.
Yeah, it's like canonically you lost here. So you're because you lost, you're over here now, type of situation. So it was interesting. I probably won't continue playing it, but I've always been curious about it. And since I got it for free, I was like, okay, we'll just check it out. And that's it. That's all I had time to do this week.
That sounds fun. I do like hearing about any time your daughter makes fun of you for being bad. It's great. I have continued playing Kingdom Hearts 1. I finished all the Disney Worlds, and I'm just sort of plucking away at some some 100% stuff, which is tedious. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it because I cannot, for the fucking life of me, kill one of those pink monkeys. And you need to be able to kill one to get 5. You need to kill 5 to get at least 5 Power Stones, and I don't know if I can do it. The ones in Traverse Town, who are the worst.
What are they in Traverse Town?
Yeah, so sometimes when, I don't know if this was in the original Kingdom Hearts, I assume it was, but in 1.5, when you go into District 1 from the safe area, instead of the regular bad guys loading, these pink monkeys with lights coming out of their eyes will load in, and they are the worst. And they drop a synthesizing material that you need in order to complete all of the synthesize stuff from the Moogles. and you need to do that in order to get 100%. And,
I recognize these guys.
I don't know if I can do it. It's so hard. I cast stop on them, but then suddenly there's 5 of them, and then they keep hitting me with their stupid thing. Anyways, so then I started playing The Adventures of Elliot to get away from that, and I've just so far, I'm almost on the demo. We do own it physically now, but I don't know if the save transfers from the demo before you finish the demo, or if you have to finish it for your save. So I'm just finishing the demo, and then I'm gonna transfer over to the full version of the game, obviously, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. I really like the action battle in it. That's a good time. I like the characters. I kind of like the over-the-top, sincere dialogue that the game has. I don't know, it doesn't bug me. I like killing the little snails. I think they're cute, and they die fun. I don't know.
I did play the demo of that. Now that I forgot that I had done that. I didn't beat it. It feels very Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past to me.
Everybody does kind of think it's... Square Enix has said it's supposed to kind of be more like a mana game, but everyone who looks at it is like, oh, this is Square Enix doing a Zelda game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel mana to me. I guess I could see where they're coming from. I really did not like the aesthetic, the art aesthetic. It really bothered me. What I like, so the backgrounds are really gorgeous. I like the portraits of the characters. I don't like the actual, here are the kind of rip-off Chrono Trigger or RPG Builder style characters. I really just feel like this is, like I said last time, it feels like big AAA Square Enix eating indie lunch to me. I wish that they took those really beautiful portraits that they made that are animated when they talk, and that somehow that was the character models. Or like, I think one time, we might have talked about this off mic, but we were like, what if they made like a Final Fantasy, or if they redid the old Final Fantasies, but used the like Yoshitaka Amano art, like the original concept art, that looks nothing like, any of that stuff, as like, the aesthetic of the world and the characters and stuff. And that would be like way more interesting. The world is so much more beautiful than those blocky characters. I don't know. It just feels like, I just don't like the incongruity between the characters and the world. And you look at something like Threads of Fate, and it feels more unified or coherent to me than this game. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just grumpy about the whole thing.
Whatever you're saying doesn't bother me at all. I like the cute little like sprites, and I love the background art. The world is so beautiful, and I don't know. It feels good to me.
It is very beautiful. The waving grass in the wind, and
I love that
stuff.
And I hear what you're saying about AAA coming into the indie space like that being kind of annoying, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I would rather Square Enix have something they can make money on, so that they can continue making the things that I also want them to make. If that makes any sense.
No, that's for sure true. I think they're on life support to a degree, and this stuff is helping them to rebuild. The quicker, easier things, relatively speaking, obviously. I'm not saying that it was a quick and easy game to make, like in comparison to Final Fantasy 16. Right, or whatever 17 is going to be. Or
and
14.
Dragon Age 12 that they are talking about. I'm fine with that. Like, that's why you have different departments doing different things,
Yeah, it's good.
But I'm really liking it. I have heard some of the reviews of people not liking it as much as they were hoping to. But most of their criticisms are things that I don't think will bother me that much. I do recommend, even if it doesn't do anything, maybe it'll just make you feel better about it, to change the amount that your companion speaks right away. Do that.
Oh, the little fairy thing?
Yeah, or the princess or whoever you've got at the time. But you can turn it from talkative to reticent.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Well, because
do they talk too much? Or do they repeat themselves a lot?
Oh my God, yes, they repeat themselves.
Oh, that's annoying.
Even having turned on reticent, every time we walk by that cat outside of the kingdom, outside of the city, the princess is like, "Oh, I didn't expect to see a cat here." I'm like, it was there the last 5 times you brought it up.
Maybe she's just dumb.
Maybe she's just dumb. But also they do things like in the dungeons, they'll say like, "Oh, a switch. Maybe we can find something to put on it," and like that type of thing.
Right. That would be annoying.
And
that's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers a lot of people, but maybe they'll come out with an update that'll change that. I continue to be having a great time. I got to the bit in the demo where I think like the major plot point is about to happen, like we're about to do the time travel.
Okay.
But there keeps being side quests in the town, so I just keep doing those side quests. The demo is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, so that's fun.
Yeah, how long? Like hours now, or?
I didn't look, but there was like 2 temples to do, plus like another thing that wasn't a temple, but it was like a little challenge to get I keep wanting to say the Zelda term. Like to get a thing that'll up your HP.
Like a heart container.
Yeah, like a heart container. I was trying not to. It's like a blood shard or something. I don't know what it's called in Elliot. So there's one of those, and then you have like the full bottom of the map to explore too. So you can go down to 2 different beaches, and there was a couple caves on one of them with some rat things and lots of stuff. And it was just more than I was expecting.
You like the combat, huh?
I like the combat, yeah. Right now I enjoy using the sword and the bow and arrow. Although the boomerang is good too, and I did just unlock like an ability for the boomerang that I want to try out, but I had been using the bow and arrow, so I gotta switch them back.
Yeah, I bought the boomerang and I was like, oh, it's a Link to the Past. Like, this is Link to the Past now. So I know how to play this game.
I'm really interested in how the story's going to go. Like, I've gotten no story spoilers from the reviews that I've seen, or at least no, like, deep story spoilers. But they keep bringing up the Hero King so much that in my head, I'm like, there's no way that that's not us, that's not Elliot with the time travel and everything. But I don't want it to be Elliot because I don't know. I hope they do something different with that. I'm very curious about how all that's going to turn out.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, there was the Final Fantasy 1 has time travel in it. And you find out like late in the game that like, oh, you need to travel back 2,000 years. And that's the only way that you're going to solve this problem. And blah, 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 blah. And the whole game, they have been talking about like 2,000 years ago, this bad stuff happened. And as a little kid, I was like, oh, I have 4 people in my party, and each one of them has an elemental crystal that we had to defeat one of the 4 fiends to get. I bet we go back in time and we become the 4 fiends, with our crystals. And so we've been killing ourselves and recovering our power, and now we're going to go back and like cause the calamity, that and all of that stuff. Right. That was like my theory. That's not true. That's not what happens. But apparently that was a popular theory because not too long ago, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, they came out with a game called Stranger of Paradise, which is kind of a reimagining of Final Fantasy 1. Right. And that is the plot of that game. It's like, here is the origin of the 4 fiends and of chaos and all of that. And it is just straight up what I just said. So it's like, oh, okay. It is the tropiest, like, kind of time travel idea that my 7-year-old self came up with. You guys just did that because that was also stuck in other people's heads as well. Okay.
We own that game, or like my sister has bought it, but I have never played it.
It's goofy. It's really hard.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's all I've been playing this week. Just those 2 games.
Yeah, neither
one thing that I have also heard about, Elliot, that I haven't experienced yet because I haven't gotten to the time travel, is that they just didn't do a good job with the time travel. And like there isn't much, like there isn't a big difference when things change in the past, and if you come back to the present, things are pretty much the same. You know, so they just didn't go hard enough on that sort of stuff. I guess people are upset about. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm enjoying myself so far, though.
Yeah, I wonder. That's interesting.
Well, let's get into today's topic, which, after deciding on it, I realized that we're just going to be rehashing a bunch of stuff we've already talked about. So if you listening are really wanting us to shut up about the same 5 games we're always talking about, don't listen to the rest of this episode. Because we're going to talk about our favorite endings from games. And I specifically, when I was thinking about this, was like plot endings and like that sort of thing. I don't really know what else that could mean, I guess.
I don't think I went in that direction, really. But just things that are important to me and that I think about a lot in terms of endings. So, although some of them are that.
The best endings are really when the plot and the gameplay, really come together.
Yeah.
And feel like one. I'm going to start us off with something that I've talked about 1 million times. And I just feel like it needs to be said here. The ending of Kingdom Hearts 2 is fantastic. It brings the themes add together, and it wraps up all of the characters, even the ones you didn't think really needed to be wrapped up, or all the characters you care about at that point. And it really did a good job of feeling like an ending while still having a lot of room for more, obviously. And I liked it a lot. I liked where we left the characters at the end of that one, because it didn't ever feel like we needed more of them. So the long waits for Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't that bad, even though obviously you saw more of them in some of the side games, but I never owned the devices those games were on, so I couldn't play them.
Weren't those phone games? I don't even remember what came in between 2 and 3. But
there were some phone games, which I didn't even know about, I think, and then there were some like handheld Nintendo games, like DS.
Oh, yeah.
DS. Yeah. That type of thing.
It is a great ending. Yeah, I think it brings together that the problem from Kingdom Hearts 1 is not really resolved in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it is resolved in Kingdom Hearts 2 and feels very satisfying.
Yeah. And yeah, part of the reason I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 as a whole was that it took the ending of 2 and like changed it in a way. I'm okay with a lot of the weird stuff that happens in 3, but I don't like how they gave characters different endings and brought them back even though they were good. They were done.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree with that. Yeah, it does like unevolve the characters a little bit. That's usually very unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 is great.
So that's
killer boss fight at the end too.
Yeah, I've talked about that before. The Sora and Riku versus Pink Xehanort.
Sure.
Somebody.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Xemnas.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I can remember, this is a little bit off, and I'll keep it short, but I can remember studying, I think I talked last time about how like I looked up Sephiroth, and I was like, oh, that's a thing that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy, and it's like religion. And I learned about this religion called Manichaeism that gets dropped a lot in religious studies. And people are like, oh, it just means a very simple good versus evil mythology. And that's what Manichaeism is. And so went to study it, and that is not true at all. It is like extremely complicated. And I remember getting into the weeds of it after, like, I don't know, 20 something hours of reading mythology of this religion. And I had the thought that, like, this is just Kingdom Hearts. This is Kingdom Hearts, the religion. And it was like, this is the most convoluted stuff ever. Like, nobody is good or evil in this story. They're all mixed up together. It's just messed up. Yeah, so Manichaeism, if you know Kingdom Hearts lore, you already know Manichaeism, is what I'm saying. Who can remember who the bad guy in Kingdom Hearts actually is? No one.
I think I've told this story before, so apologies for the repetitiveness, but my favorite thing is that I watched a reel on Instagram one time about somebody describing Kingdom Hearts lore, like sort of beginning to end very quickly. And I left a comment that was like, I've played all those games. I already knew all of this, but I did not follow.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. We'll have to deep dive. Like, once you really get through your Kingdom Hearts playthrough, we'll have to really talk through Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
There's a lot there.
But if somebody wants a deep dive, okay, I've been listening to the Simple and Clean podcast. They're really good. I recommended them last time too. Do it. They're great.
My first one that I have, I kind of went in chronological order again. I think this is like the easiest way for me to think through my approach. So, like, one of the first games I ever beat was The Legend of Zelda on the NES. And that was a really satisfying feeling. I felt like I really earned that win. It was, of course, back in the days before you could really get help. You know, you couldn't, like, look up anything on the internet, so to speak.
Right.
Because the internet was owned by the Pentagon, and they didn't care about The Legend of Zelda. So my dad got really into The Legend of Zelda as well. And he got in trouble for this at his job, but he took, like, the map of Hyrule that came with the game. I think it was like a big poster-sized map. And he photocopied, zoomed in elements of the map and recreated the whole map as like we turned it into a book, kind of. And we marked on every page, like, here's a secret here. Like, you can bomb right here in this spot and get a heart container, and, like, made a strategy guide from scratch, basically, of this game. And figured out, like, you can't hurt the final boss without certain weapons, and we figured out how to do that, and just, like, really solved this game from nothing. Because we didn't have fun. Like, it was crazy, you know, to, like, I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, and we didn't have Nintendo Power or any help, really, but we figured it out. We finally got Zelda. We thought that you were playing Zelda the whole time. Like, we didn't understand.
Nice.
There was like, oh, there's a girl here all of a sudden. And she's like, thank you, Link. I am Zelda. And we were like, oh. So that was like a twist for us because we didn't know anything. And then there's nothing to the ending. It's just like, it says, like, congratulations, you beat the game. And then immediately it says, a new adventure will unfold. And then you begin in the beginning area again. And everything is totally different. Like, all of the dungeons are in new places. They have new requirements and different tools. And it's a whole new adventure with an all different map that you don't have, like, the big poster map to. And you, like, now you know what you're doing. And here's, like, hard mode. And that was mind blowing. Like, I was like, oh my God. This is like a whole sequel to a game buried in this game.
That's cool. Yeah, that must have been fun.
That was fun. That was crazy. And then we found out later, I think I found this out through, like, the kid grapevine, like the, you know, playground network, that if you put in the name, I think this is true, if you put in the name Zelda as your name in the file, because you have to like name all the files. I think there was 3 files that you could save on. And you put in Zelda, it would start as the second quest, as if you had beaten the game. And then so you could just start second quest without having to beat it.
Interesting.
But still totally nuts.
My next game is, no surprise, Final Fantasy X. Yeah, so Final Fantasy X, perfect ending. I don't know what else there's to say about it at this point. I like the kind of bait and switch about who needs to be sacrificed, and I like that everyone's okay with it, kind of. I mean, I don't think a lot of them knew until it happened, but I like how the plot kind of all comes together. Other than 10, up until that point, I really feel like 8 was the only one that really tried to incorporate the summons into the plot of the game, and not just have them be like a battle tactic. And 8 kind of fumbled that a little bit, but 10 does it perfectly, and having to kind of unsummon them all at the end is really good.
Yeah.
And that, like, after the big, huge boss fight, you have to fight all of your summonses. Whatever. You know what I mean? All the beasts. And kill them. And after they've been with you the whole time, like, that work, that's so great.
It's really sad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's great storytelling, not, I love killing my allies.
Yeah. But it's necessary. It feels very story-driven.
Yes. And it's especially great if you've done all the side stuff, so you have all the really difficult summons that you have to kill, and you're like, oh god, I've done this to myself.
Right, yeah. Why did I get Anima? Why
did
I do that?
Why did I get the 3 sisters who are crazy? But yeah, it's a great time, and it was getting to that ending was such a big part of my, I don't know, like, I was 16, and it was huge for me. It took over my life, basically, for a while, and I loved it so much. And I love that little bit of what if they give you at the end of the credits. I think that was perfectly done, because it doesn't spoil anything about the ending, it doesn't ruin the ending, I guess is what I mean, but it gives you just a little hint of what if.
I always think of Yuna falling through Tidus.
Yes. Yeah, it's so good how they did that.
Man. And then in the sequel, she does that same leaping hug, and she crashes into him, and that makes me cry every time, because they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
That's the same hug. Yeah, it's so good. It's
and then, and he gives her that, like, ghost hug from behind and walks through her. Amazing. And it's just great storytelling. And the incorporation of the gameplay with having to kill your summons and stuff. So, it's really good.
Good, yeah. So, mine is the same kind of thing, also Final Fantasy, because that's all we can talk about on this podcast.
Hey, I limited myself to one. I see that you have more than one, so...
I do have more than one. Final Fantasy VI was, I'm not going to spoil the ending itself, but more like the structure of the ending.
Right.
Because I think Legend of Zelda was like the first one where I feel like I really earned the ending, and that was like, and then you get this huge reward of like, here's a whole another game. And the story was like a big nothing, because that's just not how those games worked. But in 6, the story is really, really important. And I still think to this day that maybe 6 has the best story ending. Like, at the end of it, you really just feel satisfied that, like, oh, that was a whole story. Like, I understand what happened to everybody and why it happened, and there's kind of nowhere to go, or like maybe infinite places to go after that. Like, whatever happens next is going to be totally and completely different than everything, the adventure you just completed. So it just feels very finished in a particular way. And they do this great job of, like, the credits are rolling through the whole thing, and it just like takes time with like so you're seeing like main programmer, blah, 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 music producer, this, and then it will come up with a credit card, you know what I mean? Like a credit screen that will be like one of the heroes, like Tara Bradford, like basically the main character of the game. And it will show like her portrait, and then it will be her little epilogue or coda of like, here's what happened with this character.
Okay.
And then it goes back to like, here's a screen full of, programmer names, and then here's another character's portrait, and we're going to do their epilogue. And each one of them has their own music that plays through the whole thing, and like, it just like does a great job of, you care so much about these characters by the end. And the endings are like really influenced by the choices that you made in the second half of the game.
Interesting.
And like, yeah, and for an SNES game too. And some of them, the thing comes up, and if you didn't like do it or you did it the wrong way, it comes up and it says like, the year they were born and the year they died, because like they're dead in the story because you kind of killed them or didn't do their thing. And so the game just acknowledges those choices that you made as well. I think that was the first Final Fantasy game that I beat where I realized that the name of Final Fantasy actually kind of like meant something, that like, there won't be any more fantasy stories in this world because of the way that this ends. This is the final fantasy of this world. And then I started to think back, is that true in 1? Yeah, it's true in 1. Is that true in 2? Or what, I called it 2, but it was 4. And that's also kind of true there. Like there's something about those early games in their design philosophy that is like, it has an ending, and it has to do with like the end of magic is a important idea in those games.
Interesting.
I think that became less true the longer the series goes, especially after 10, I would say. Like even 10 itself. I mean, it's fundamentally different after that because like Yevon's gone and the cycle is broken.
And summoning is gone.
And summoning is gone, yeah. So I guess there's something kind of irrevocable there, but
like 7, 8, 9, I wouldn't say that the world is like intrinsically different.
You could argue 7. I mean, we know that not everybody is dead, but at the time when it came out, it was like, did all the humans die? Like that was not clear at the time,
right?
But yeah, I don't know. It was just that the ending of that game like really affected me in terms of how I interpret Final Fantasy and what I expect. And like I said, I've never had an ending. Like 7 is so the opposite, like it's confusing, it's unclear, you don't get any like what happened to the characters.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the ending of 7.
Yeah, it's like the exact opposite of that. It's like, it's very, very satisfying. You just, walk away feeling very done with that world.
My next one is, again, no surprise, Expedition 33. I love that a completely railroaded game where there was basically no choice. You could choose which of the girls you sleep with.
I didn't even know that until I was done.
Like, other than that, I think that is, I genuinely think that might be the only other kind of real choice. To then have this finish where it's like, you have this one big choice you gotta make. I think that is so well done. And I think the leading up to that point where you have to make that big choice is done perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get there and you feel for both of those characters, you understand both of their point of views, and it sucks. It sucks to have to force them to fight each other, basically.
It's so hard.
Yeah. And both endings are heartbreaking in different ways. Both can be argued to be right and wrong. Both have incredible music. Both are equally horrific, I guess, and equally good.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah. And they did a really, really great, satisfying job with bringing that all together, bringing this like crazy world and crazy story to have a good, satisfying ending, except good, satisfying two endings. You know? Really difficult to do, and they did a great job at it.
That's amazing. I remember it building up to that choice, like you said, and I realized what was going to happen in like 10 seconds. It was like, oh, you're going to have to choose. And I like literally stood up in my living room and I started yelling no at the, the TV. I was like, I can't make this choice. Are you kidding me? Like there's no, oh my God. It was so heartbreaking. I don't know about you, but I immediately, like I made a choice and I immediately went back and did the other way.
Yeah.
Just to see. I was like, oh no, is the other one like this too? And they are. And it was like, why am I crying through this whole thing? It's terrible. It's so good. It's terrible. Oh.
Yeah, I did both endings back to back. I chose my elf first because I didn't like the idea of killing all my friends.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Whatever. It wasn't. I've talked about this before. It wasn't that the ending felt morally wrong to me. It just felt wrong storytelling to me.
Yeah.
So I went back and chose the other one, and storytelling wise, that one felt more right to me.
Yeah. I'm so curious if they'll ever do anything else in that world. They could never do anything in that world again, and I think it would be fine. But if they did, I would be really interested.
I believe that they have confirmed that the name of the series, Clair Obscur, that their next game is going to be in that series.
Sure.
But I'm thinking that it's like they have so many influences from Final Fantasy that I think it's going to be more like that each game is going to be wholly independent. But what I'm hoping is that it's still in that same overworld, like not in the painting world, obviously, but in the outside world.
Yeah.
We get games from other painters and from writers, and we see more about what's going on in that conflict.
Yeah.
But that it's kind of revealed slowly through a couple of games, and that because I have to assume that if we can go into a painter's painting, we can go into a writer's writing.
Right.
So that could be really interesting.
That whole concept, which is like super strong and really, really interesting, also feels like if you just move that world up 100 years is like, I mean, it seems really obvious to me that the blending of those two things is a video game. And like, what if, you know what I mean? Like, what if in the future, that is what the kind of like entertainment or artistic future is like, the allied painters and writers are video game creators, and like what kind of nightmare utopias can you create doing that too? So like, I think there's just a huge possibility space for that universe from what they built. But I'm more interested in, like you said, like the emotional character driven unity between like what they built, and like I don't need to know like all the like Star Warsy answers, like who built C-3PO. I don't want to know like what happened to Verso and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
just do that thing again where you made me like really care about people, and then you like fucking kicked me right in the heart. And just do that in your universe again.
I would want the next game. We're not talking about the ending anymore, but whatever. I would really want their next game to be about completely different people. And a completely different story. And the only connection is we hear more about the conflict between the painters and the writers. And we get more information on that. And maybe just as like a fun little thing, we hear somebody mention, oh yeah, the Cassandra family, they're out. We don't know what happened with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. That's how I feel too. It's amazing ending. Incredible. One of the best experiences of like a gaming hobby ever, I think. All-timer. Yeah, I trusted you to waste a pick on that, so I was like, I won't put that down. I would talk about a franchise I've never talked before called Street Fighter. I've never talked about
Street Fighter.
So Street Fighter 5 to me has the best ending out of all those games and is actually like kind of the ending of the franchise. There is a Street Fighter 6, but it is such a like reboot because you have, so in Street Fighter 1 there's not really a story. Street Fighter 2 gives us these stereotypes of world characters. You know, like in Japan the character that you can pick is either this shonen hero in Ryu or like a sumo wrestler E Honda. And then, you know, there's like the guy from Thailand does Muay Thai and the guy from, so it's like whatever their national martial arts kind of is. Like the Spanish martial artist is like the bullfighter type guys. I suddenly can't remember what they're called. You get what I'm saying. Like the British guy is like a boxer and on like that.
Yeah.
So there are all these national stereotypes. And then in the background of Street Fighter 2, you have the story of a supernaturally powered dictator who is trying to take over the world, you know, like in a shonen manga type of way where he's like genetically engineering soldiers and blending that with like magical powers to conquer all of Asia, and then he's like moving on to like Africa, Europe, and America and South America. And like Street Fighter 2 it introduces that idea, it doesn't really do much with it. And then in Street Fighter 3, it leaps forward to like he has taken over the world and we just live in that dictator's world now. And like, how did that happen? And Street Fighter 4 fills in the gap between 2 and 3 of how did M. Bison conquer the world. And then Street Fighter 5 is the story of like, you know, the Katniss Everdeen story of overthrowing the dystopia. And like all of these characters, you have the villainous and heroic characters. When you play through story mode on Street Fighter 5, it literally is like playing an animated movie, and it moves you through, okay, this hero's story progressed to this point, and the final confrontation with M. Bison, and you kill him, and you save the world, and now all of the governments can like come back to be the, you know, whatever they were before he took over, and we ended his supernatural powers and his genetic engineering program, and that's it. And just has like this huge cathartic feeling if you played all of those games. And then yeah, when they come out with 6, it's a very like optimistic, totally different vibe because you live in a free world now, and the people who saved the world were these street fighters. They weren't affiliated with like any military necessarily. It wasn't like the US government saved the world or something. It was like a ragtag group of, you know, weirdos from all over the globe banded together. And so now everybody wants to be a street fighter because those are like the superheroes who saved the world. And so it's a totally different world vibe. So there's like there's like a little story there in that universe, and 5 like really doubled down on that and made it so that the storytelling and fighting were a fusion in the way that you're saying is really satisfying for these endings.
Yeah, that sounds fun. You've almost kind of sold me on playing Street Fighter, which I would hate. So yeah, my next one is, I guess, kind of controversial maybe in the video game scene, but Mass Effect 3. I love the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Oh man, I gotta get off this podcast. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. You're just like, this is where you're at. I didn't realize. No,
I don't know what people were expecting from the ending of Mass Effect, and it's very important to note I played it after all of the updates, so I don't know how bad it was originally. So keep that in mind when I'm talking here. I don't know what people were expecting, but I don't know. The idea that from a game that gave you very simplified choices for everything, it made sense to me that for the ending, you would get a very simplified choice, you know?
Yeah.
Blue, red.
Or like 5 choices? I can't remember.
There's
how
3.
many choices.
Well, there's 2 plus maybe 1 if you've done everything, or if you've done enough. There's the blue choice and the red choice and the green choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get. And yeah, it makes it so that basically none of your other choices matter. But that, I don't know, them coming around to giving you the blue or the red choice, that's what those games are about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's 4 choices. I looked this up. There are 4 choices.
What's the 4th choice? Oh,
so the 4th... Yeah, the 4th choice is the choice that I accidentally did the first time that I played, where I shot a child in the face, and then the game was like, that is a choice. And I was like, no, stop. Wait.
I did forget about that.
Because who would do that? What kind of monster? But yeah. Do you have a preferred ending?
No, they all kind of suck, but I like that.
Yeah.
So...
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of suck, but that feels right. Like, in a way, the red ending, as it were, which is Destroy, I guess, is my preferred ending because you just spent 3 games trying to kill these people. But also, I just spent 2 games getting Legion and his people back.
Yeah,
the Geth, getting them out of the control of the bad guys and getting them, independent and recognized as like another alien species. And now we're gonna kill them. We're gonna kill all of them. We're just gonna mass genocide them. So that sucks. But green really sucks. I don't want to join with these people. I don't want to do that. And then blue, which is hilarious that it's blue, that the quote unquote good choice, is becoming the god of the bad guys, basically.
Yeah. That won't end badly. It should be fine.
I guess I have a least favorite, and it's that one. That one's my least favorite. I don't have a preferred one, but I don't like that one. They all suck a lot, and that feels right to me. Like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting a happy ending.
I don't know how you do that. It's a game about war.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that type of story. Like, I get that maybe coming at it from Dragon Age the way I was, most of the Dragon Age games have, perfectly good endings, depending on what you've done. But like an ending that you would like for the choices that you have made. And Mass Effect really does kind of turn that on its head. But I don't know, it felt right to me. And honestly, the music for the ending was great. Seeing your squad mates or whatever, the people on the ship, seeing them, escape and be safe, but also like who knows where. I think that's great. Having your love interest kind of narrate the ending and what's happened to humanity, I think that was a great choice. It's a good time. I don't know. It felt right to me. I cried a lot in that game, and I cried for that ending, and it felt like a conclusion.
But what if Shepard came back, for another game?
I'd rather not. I'd rather that not happen. Obviously, we don't know much about what Mass Effect 5 is going to be, like who the main character is going to be and that sort of thing. But if it is, obviously, I'm going to play it. Like, I'm going to play it. It doesn't matter. But I would really prefer they just make something else. Like, just start a new series. For Christ's sake, give us something new.
Crazy talk. Yeah, it's probably my least favorite of that franchise. Although I didn't finish Andromeda, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But
I mean, I think that puts Andromeda down on the bottom for you. I really like Andromeda, but as I've just said, I'm crazy.
Well, I just feel unqualified to rank Andromeda, I guess, is what I mean. Because
if you didn't finish it, you didn't care.
I never take it that way, I guess, because I don't know. Sometimes I've gone back and I finish a thing and I'm like, wow, that was amazing. And I don't know why I ever stopped playing it to begin with.
That's,
so
that's
sometimes
a good point.
It's just me.
That's
but yeah, the ending, I think what you're saying is a good point, that if you're down for the story being the story, Mass Effect 3 really does take some chances in its ending and doesn't allow you to like feel good about its universe when it's over. It doesn't give you that feeling like I was talking about from Final Fantasy VI, where I'm just like, wow, we like really saved the world and here's how all my heroes, we did it. It's like, wow, war is terrible and it is just endless sacrifice, and maybe it was worth it. I hope it was worth it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Is a really kind of an achievement of storytelling.
Exactly. I love getting to the end of 3 and making one of those. Maybe next time I play, I'll shoot the kid.
I don't recommend it. Yeah. It is a weird ending where you can just give up your responsibility to the galaxy. But that just seems crazy for Shepard's character. I can't imagine how you could play Shepard's character to get to the end and then just be like, I don't give a shit anymore. Just do whatever you want. Just like do it. Just do it. I don't care. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure the first choice I made was the green choice, but it was only because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't know. I found that whole setup to be very confusing, and I did not know what direction I was walking in.
I think that was a big complaint for people. Yeah, about that ending, is that it's like literally confusing which choice you're making.
Yeah. And you're like so hurt and you're doing that very slow shuffle, so it takes so long to do anything. But no, I sound like I'm complaining. I still do love the end of Mass Effect 3. I think it's perfect.
Did you do all of them like boom, 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 or did you?
No. I was crying way too hard.
Yeah.
I did synthesize that first time and cried. And I think I don't think I ever did go back and make different choices. I've just replayed the entire trilogy and made different choices at the end.
Synthesis is an interesting way to end it. It feels very viable to me.
It felt, I don't know how to describe it. In a way, it feels like the most right one, especially since it's the one you have to unlock by getting enough stuff. But I kind of hate it.
Yeah, you override everybody's like nature when you do that.
Yeah.
You're like just forcing this kind of weird integration, but that's a really interesting space to step into. Like, if that is where the sequels take place in an integrated ending, I think that would be like super interesting, actually.
I guess I like Destroy the most. Especially in this day and age. Like, yeah, let's just get rid of all the AI. Let's just kill it all. Even if I was really good friends with one. He's already dead, Legion is gone, so we may as well just kill them all. Sorry to... Who's the one that lives on our ship?
It's not Legion, is it Edie?
Edie.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Edie, but
I don't mind Edie. I'm not a fan of her relationship with Joker, but
yeah, I think that's why I don't like Edie. Edie is like an argument to get rid of AI.
Yeah.
is how I feel.
She does seem to exist just to be his sexual fantasy. So
yeah,
that's fun. I guess Destroy would be my favorite, but like very small margin. They're all bad, and I like that they're all bad.
Yeah. That's interesting.
You again.
All right. So I'm going to talk about Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which is a indie game. It's not very big, but it's hard to talk about this ending without completely wrecking it, which is what I'm going to have to do.
I've never even heard of this game, so
okay.
Spoil away.
I think about this ending a lot, and it's exactly the kind of thing that you were talking about that makes endings so powerful. I think it's what makes it work so well, because it blends the mechanics of the game with the storytelling in the most perfect, beautiful way that I've ever experienced in a video game. And when the moment happened, it literally made me burst into tears. So it's very, very powerful. And so me talking about this is just going to spoil it. I don't think that it will make it as powerful. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you just shouldn't listen to what I'm going to say. But the premise of the story is, and there's no dialogue in the game. They kind of speak like, well, I was going to say they speak gibberish, but it just might be that they're speaking a language I don't know, which I'm American, so it's gibberish. Only English exists. So there's a father who is dying of some kind of mysterious disease, and there's a magical cure. There's an older brother and a younger brother. The older brother kind of takes it on himself that he's going to go on a quest to get this magical cure. The father is trying to stop him. He's like, no, stay here. Like, I'm kind of ready to die. Just let it happen. Don't do this dangerous thing, because then you might die, and that would be a real tragedy. I don't want that to happen. And the younger brother is just uncertain and doesn't know what is best to do, and follows his older brother, for that reason. Mechanically, the way that you play the game is that you have to think of the controller as the two characters. So you have an analog stick on each side, which controls one of the two characters. And then you have the two trigger buttons. So you have like the R1, R2, and L1, L2 buttons. And those do different things for each of the brothers. And then the things that they do are contextual to the situation. So it might be that in some situations, pushing, the trigger button will make you push a block. But in other contexts, it makes you swing a sword, and you can kind of see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to coordinate the movements of the two brothers and their actions to solve puzzles throughout the game, and elements of their personality emerge as you do this. One brother is not willing to do things in certain circumstances. They just will refuse to do it because they have phobias or they lack knowledge that the other one has. And so, like, when it comes to swimming, for example, the older brother is a swimmer, but the younger brother doesn't know how to swim, and he's like scared of the water because he's a little guy. And then, but there'll be things that where the older brother is he's big and strong, but he's kind of dumb, and the younger brother has to like fix mechanical stuff, and he can kind of like fit into tight spaces and put gears back where they go and things like that. So you go through the story, blah, 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 and eventually you find the magical cure. But in doing this, it ends up that the older brother dies. And so you have to make the trip back with the younger brother by himself. And so the half of your controller is just useless.
Interesting.
Which is already like pretty sad. And you're already like pretty close to... You've kind of like made a circle where you've come back to the other side of the world, and now you're like back where you started, kind of a thing. And to get out of the place where you started, you had to like cross over this water, and you get back to the water, and that's where you find out that the little brother, he can't swim. Like you had to build a boat or something to get across. And so he's got the cure, and he's back at this spot, but there's no way to cross. And you keep going up to the water, and he keeps doing the thing that he always does, where he's like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And then you have to push the contextual button for the other brother, and then so you have to use both parts of the controller. And it's like he's using his brother's memory, or like the things that he learned from his brother, to do this thing that was impossible for him before. And I just lost it. Like when that happened. And he swims across, which seems like such a little thing, but like it's so huge, especially because you have to kind of figure it out, because it feels like how do I do this? There's no answer. And then you just try this thing. And while he's doing it, the brother's voice is like speaking to him, and it's just really super effective. And then he cures his father, and he gets better, and you can tell that he's telling his father about the adventure and how the older brother died. and then they both, like embrace and cry and grieve over the brother, and that's like the ending of the story. So it's just a really impressive melding of the actual mechanical way that you interact with the game and the storytelling of the game.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like, really good video game writing.
Yeah.
I always love when a story is being told in a video game that could not be told any other way.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to translate that moment to a movie or something.
They talked about making a movie out of it, and that was the first thought that I had. I was like, you're never going to do the thing. Like, it just doesn't hit the same way. Yeah. It has to be a video game. That's a good point.
My last one is kind of a honorable mention, because mostly I actually think Persona games are not great at their endings.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I don't know, the two that I've played anyway, and to a degree Metaphor, they're just kind of a mess. Like, they've gotten too big for what they are. And I don't mean like the last boss or anything. I mean like the ending with the characters, like afterwards. I think that they're not that great. But in Persona 5, there's a little, you get to say goodbye to all your friends and stuff, and you leave, and I'm like, but why would you leave? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would he go back? It doesn't make any sense. But then after the credits, there's one really good little bit that was perfect. And they did that moment so well.
Mm.
And I loved, and it wasn't in the original, and it's just in Royal, and it was so good, and it was just a really good bit of writing.
Do you feel like that was a revision, or like, is it keying off of the extra content in Royal?
It's keying off the extra content. It wouldn't have hit the same in the original.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder, because you're playing through Kingdom Hearts again, I wonder if the ending would feel different to you if you do get the perfect thing, because there's like a little bit extra.
I don't know. I don't even think I've ever looked up the secret ending from 1. I've looked up the secret ending from 2 and such, but not from 1. So I want to do it, but also I'm so fucking done with some of the shit that you gotta do. The amount of patience, I don't know that I have it.
Yeah. When people come back out with these kind of definitive editions or like extra content, it does give them that chance to like touch that ending again. And they don't always earn what they do with it, I feel like. Because I feel like in Kingdom Hearts, it does feel a little bit like, and here's a little hint of the sequel that you're so hungry for, a little bit more than it has to do with touching the ending in a way that was like, we didn't quite get what we wanted out of this. So it sounds like in Royal that they got a second bite at the apple, so to speak, and like,
well, Royal adds so much with the third semester that like it's just a completely different ending. It's a completely different ending than the original.
Yep. I'll find out what happened like in 2028 when I finally finish this game.
When I was playing for Golden, it was really interesting because the added dungeon and storyline in that one happened before the final dungeon and are just kind of like an extra thread in the story. And so other than adding more time and more characters, and like it does add more of an ending semester there, it doesn't actually change the ending. Persona 5 is a completely different ending between 5 and Royal. Like it's completely different.
It would be like in Mass Effect like in Mass Effect 3 if they tacked on like some kind of ending before the ending where you have like a big party or something on the on the space station or whatever.
Sure, except
that would be crazy.
In Golden it's a little less fun.
Yeah.
the Golden specific dungeon, I mean, and a little bit more well, I don't want to spoil things, which is ridiculous to say on our podcast, but yeah. But that's all of mine. Did you have one last one to talk about, I see? Yeah,
I put down Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second in the remake trilogy. Hopefully it's a trilogy for sure. Because, I don't know, like, is it remake? I think that's the name of the first one.
Yes.
The ending, I really did not like the ending. The boss, the ending itself was a little bit infuriating and confusing. But Rebirth really felt different. It felt like it was really opening up something fundamental about the story, and the journey that the characters had gone on really felt like it built to the final conflict that was happening. And the fact that, you know, like, I've played all of the other compilation things, and that battle really felt like a moment that we were like synthesizing all of this storytelling to come to this particular moment where you have these three characters who could never have joined together to fight this enemy in the story. Like, they found a way to make that happen, and that was like so exciting and interesting. And that battle was really well done. They all three of those characters earn their place and are essential in winning the battle. And then when you win the battle, just like you've said so many times through your picks, it really feels like you lost, and like everything is much, much worse than it was before. And it's so sad and makes you upset and cry and feel bad. And like, you're just loaded with dread going into the third part of like, man, Cloud is fucked. He's fucked in a way that's so much deeper than he was in the original game. Spiritually, psychically, he's just like in a bad spot at the end of that second game. And that's kind of exactly where I want him to be. And I don't know, they like perfectly did the middle dark chapter ending thing. I think they just nailed it.
That's good to know, because I'm getting to the end of Remake, I felt very much like, why are we doing this? Why are we having this huge Sephiroth fight here?
Yeah.
Where are we going to go from? Like, is it just going to be a series of huge Sephiroth fights? Like, what? It didn't make any sense. So,
I
you're
agree.
saying that you really liked the ending of Rebirth is good.
Yeah. Because it really feels like a clash of these cosmic forces, and you are like in the middle of it, and it's really wild. And that is not a good place to be. You don't want to be you don't want to be a person, you know,
Yeah.
Those are my favorite fantasy stories. Is like Frodo gets the ring. It's like, what? That's just a guy. Like, don't give him the ring. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Cloud is just a guy from a little mountain town. He should not be here. It's terrible. It's really, really good. Hopefully they ruin it in the third one and drop the ball. I don't know.
Hopefully it's terrible and we spend
just the
$100 on it.
God damn it. I should have known.
All right. Well, you can reach out and tell us to stop bringing up the same 5 games on Blue Sky at Inferior Gaming. And you can tell me specifically to shut up about Kingdom Hearts and Persona 5 on Blue Sky at Inferior Caitlin.
Send your lore breakdowns of Kingdom Hearts to inferiorgamingpod at gmail.com. Or you can go on the hologroundmedia.com website and fill out the contact form.
And remember to always shoot the child.
Jesus.